everything that is real lives in the silence. All that appears is experienced in the play of time. In the noise, the appearance of noise. All that is real lives in the absolute peace. What appears as an appearance is the experience of angst and agitation. All that is real lives in the unchanging stillness of your being. All that appears is the experience of movement and change. The nature of your being is felt as the silence. The nature of happiness is felt as the silence. What appears is so obviously nothing more than phenomena, confluenced in particular ways in accordance with what is called karma. In absolute reality, in the feeling of your being, the feeling of what is silent, there is no karma. It can be so obvious that the play of time is an appearance when you simply shift the gaze from the habit of tracking objects of perception to looking to see who is the perceiver. To whom is the experience of the phenomena? To whom is it occurring? Play is karma, bringing forth a situation in life, and instead of being drawn into the habit, to look and see who is it affecting, but to really dive into what is being affected? You can never find anyone. Body is going through challenges, and instead of following the story to look and see who is being affected, what is this affecting? You can never find anyone. Someone that appears to be affected is an appearance. When you look for who is really being affected, there's no one you can find. And when you fall into this, the no one that can be found, it is falling into being, it is falling into silence, falling into stillness. If this shift of attention is intermittent, it cannot break the trance, because it is a trance that has brought the flavor of consciousness to focus on objects of perception. Trance is run by what is called karma, but it's just a trance. But if there is the intention to be freed from this trance, and it is consistent, as opposed to it being conceptual, it becomes so blatantly obvious that all of this is an appearance that only seems to be happening to someone when the gaze is in the orientation of the trance. It's a very strong gravitational force out of habit, something that has nurtured the freeing of this trance. But when it is taken seriously, the body or the situations can seem very intense from the perspective of the character. But if there is a consistency in looking to see who is the character, who is this I, who is really affected, it begins to become so clear. It's all a mirage, it's all an appearance. When you look towards who this I really is, directly when you feel into the nature, it's always the same. it is this unbounded feeling of silence. When you look for yourself, the essence of yourself, what is discovered is unbounded silence. Just feeling the true nature of yourself. And foregoing the conditioned trance where that which is consciousness, has been hypnotized into focusing on points of reference, objects, perceptions. It's not a getting away from anything, but it's really falling into this I, the truth of I. Falling into yourself, consciousness falling into itself, breaking of a trance that creates ever-changing experiences directed by karma. And feeling the unbounded nature of what is conscious. And every time the hypnotic stimulus draws attention, the possibility is to look and see, who is this affecting? Who is it affecting? And you find nothing. And in the nothing you feel everything. And it comes in the beginning so quickly, this stimulus. But each time it is an opportunity to simply break a trance. Who is it affecting? Who is thought affecting? Who is aware of thought? Who is sensation affecting? Who is aware of sensation? Whatever is experienced, there is awareness that is aware, perceiving. But when you look to see, what is this that is perceiving? The hypnotic trance is broken, And there is falling into what the perceiver actually is, which is simply an aspect of consciousness that had been hypnotized. It's called me. And then it just naturally falls back into itself. And when what is conscious falls back into itself, there is the arising of such happiness and light, beauty, freedom, love. The story is that I am searching, but it is consciousness itself that is searching for itself. It's gotten bound up in a trance, a story of me and my perceptive experiences, my life, my future, my body. And the nature of consciousness contracts into the arena of the perception of objects. The primary object is my body. And then all of its perceptions. But from where is the perceiving coming from? And then consciousness turns towards itself, falls back unto itself, then it becomes alive. Nature of pure light begins to be felt. Pure, unalloyed happiness, bound by nothing. And it becomes more and more clear that this experience that is called my life, the arena of perception, is just a trance, an appearance. And then it is simply about remembering. There is no need to be concerned or to fear appearances. It's only an appearance. When there is a consistency in looking to see what is perceiving, who is being affected, the nature of the appearance revealing itself to be nothing more than an appearance, it becomes so undeniable. The reality that it's not affecting you becomes so undeniable. In order to suffer, the hypnosis must be in place, meaning the belief is that I am this finite reference point. Well, when you look for that, what is aware of that, you never find anything. And even the looking is just phenomena. The ultimate discovery is that I am consciousness that had forgotten its own nature and created the illusion of someone bound by the story of karma. And that each time a thread of what had forgotten falls back unto itself in remembrance, there is this eruption of this joy and light and beauty. That's infinite. The celebration is infinite. Habit of all the attention sucked into nothing more than an appearance. While each time the addiction is released and there's your conscious nature falling back to itself, there is the eruption of this wholeness and peace and happiness, joy. If one simply notices the whole entirety of the dreamscape, all of the world problems, and really feels into what does the entirety of the dream affect, the realization that this is an appearance just becomes so clear. It is not that there is not compassion for what has forgotten. It explodes. Because the nature of consciousness is pure love. And it returns for itself. The way a loving mother would return for a lost child. Just to look and see who is aware of this satsang, these words, as opposed to focusing on the object, which would be the words, looking to see who is aware, what is aware of the words. What is that? Feeling into what is aware. What is aware falling into itself. And then the arising of what would have been called words arises within that awareness. as opposed to something separate. Everything that is arising within the awareness of the self. Wholeness and the beauty of the self, aware of itself, free of the hypnosis. And then each time there is phenomena blowing through this space and the habit of attention latches upon it, it's possible simply to look and see who is being affected. It's an appearance, no one. It seems so real in the face of the hypnosis. Yet when there is consistency in looking to see who does all of this affect, the spell of the trance begins to break. The light of love is free to fall into itself, and it animates everything that is appearing within it, except nothing is separate, and it all dances as a reflection of the joy of self-recognition. As soon as there is the attempt to fix or change, relationship with my past or my future, it's all been forgotten. And cycling around under the controls of karma is back controlling the experience of life. But the forgetting holds the potential to decondition the habit such that each time it occurs, there is simply looking in reality to see who is affected, who is affected, who is this I. In essence, who, in truth, am I? And in this vigilance, this fortitude, there is the arising of the witnessing of the tendencies, using the tendencies as a self-reminder when forgetting occurs, and the life becomes about nothing but this. When the life becomes about nothing but this, in the play of time, it is only a matter of time for the consciousness that you have taken yourself to be as someone, before this consciousness is freed to return home into its infinite nature. And since you are that, you bask in this eternal beauty and rapture and peace. It works like being freed from any addiction. It's the most profound addiction for sure. But if there is an addiction to some substance, and there is a decision that every other day I will not touch it, you're going to get nowhere. The offer is always the same offer. It's always only now. Everything else is hypnosis of consciousness's addiction to objects. It's the feeling of silence. Silence feeling silence. Beauty feeling beauty. Love feeling love. Using the play as it was intended, as a roadmap to set consciousness, your true self, free. To dance as the infinite dances. To sing as only the silence can sing. Receive the love that only the true lover of eternity can offer. Every phenomenal arising, noticing who it is affecting. Discovering nothing, and the feeling of nothing is the taste of freedom.